Hi there, and welcome to the first ever episode of Talking with Jonny. I'm Jonny Lieberman, and these are going to be, I don't know, just a chance for me to talk to you guys, answer some of your questions, but also ask some of my own questions, such as, how are we doing? Big question you might be having is, why did it take me so long to get my own YouTube channel going? No good reason other than, I've just been working very closely with Motor Trend for years. And, at one point we had basically, with the exception of Top Gear, like the biggest automotive channel on the internet. And then we went streaming, and I don't know. I think I figured out the other day I can't remember if it was 9 or 10 shows that I've been on with Motor Trend, which have been started and then canceled over the years. So I don't know. It just always seemed like there'd be, I don't know, just a reason for me to stay at Motor Trend. Um, and we just got purchased by Hearst, and I've been freelance for like a year and a half now. And I don't know, just things are different, transition. And really what got me going was I read that there's 2.85 billion people that watch YouTube. So I was like, there's room for me too. I'm still working with Motor Trend. I've expanded. I'm kind of freelancing for a couple other places. In fact, I got a really cool email, which I'm not going to spill the beans on quite yet, but if you're a writer in the car industry, it's the kind of email you want to get. So I'm going to be working with another outlet pretty soon. Started working with the Rob Report. Started working with Panorama, which is a Porsche magazine. And yeah, it's just been great, and I've really been enjoying um, having my own channel, having Driving with Jonny. It's just been a lot of fun, and the response has been great. And we're way ahead of schedule in terms of everything, especially like view count and making money, monetization, which is sadly what it's all about. So, anyways, if this isn't the first time you've seen one of the videos on the new channel, thank you for your support. And if it is your first time, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because obviously it really, really helps. So I have got here a couple of things. One is, yeah, I'm going to try and do this weekly. So if you have questions you want answered, just drop them down below, make a comment, and those will be the questions that get answered on next week's episode. Obviously, today, um, this is since this is the first one, there isn't any. But then I get to also ask you all questions, and my big one would be like, "How we doing? Is everything okay? What can we do better? What do you want to see?" I'll tell you what we got coming up 2 days after this. I just went to the Goodwood Festival of Speed 2025 edition, celebrating 60 years of Gordon Murray and the 75th anniversary of F1. And yeah, I was in England yesterday. It was awesome. A little hot, but it was awesome. And so I shot a video, shot it all myself, shot it on an iPhone with a mic like this. I hope it's okay. Rylick, who you haven't really met yet if you just watch this channel, but you will. Rylick's editing it. Can't talk. Editing that video right now, and it should come out Thursday, assuming this goes up on today, which is Tuesday. After that, we've got some videos in the can. So we've got M5 Touring. We've got the Mercedes E450 All-Terrain, which is their wagon. I tried to shoot a video on the Aston Martin Valor. I don't know how I did. I was really all by myself. So we've got that. And then I have a Nissan Z Nismo in the driveway right now. So we'll do something with that. I mean, by something, I mean, we're going to do a review. And so, yeah, so, driving with Jonny, the main thing is going to be car reviews because, professionally speaking, I haven't really had much desire to do anything other than drive cars and write about them or make a video about them and talk about them for the last 2 decades. And I love it. I'm just so lucky. I get to do what I do. And then we're going to do this thing, Talking with Jonny. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, so any comments at all, let me know. I tell my iPhone here not to turn off. Two things I think we should talk about would be, let's see. Okay, sorry, just getting a zillion texts coming in. The theme song for Driving with Jonny, which I'm gonna have to do my own Talking with Jonny theme song, and then the F80. So we'll start with the theme song. So if you've watched any of the reviews, you'll hear a cool little metal riff, lasts about 10 seconds. At the end of it, it's like, driving with Jonny. And people have been asking about that. As you may know, I'm good friends with Misha Mansour, who's the guitar player and I guess mastermind behind the, I don't know what you call it, heavy metal. I mean, they're called a gent band, but the band Periphery. And he owns a company called Get Good Drums. They make fake drums. He's a guitar god, all that stuff. He's got a home studio. So I wrote that little riff, silly little riff, and I brought it over there and I actually played the bass for that riff. And then Misha did some drums with his Get Good Drums software. And then he played guitar, and he did like way too many guitar tracks. It should have just been bass and drums, but if you invite a guitar player to help you out, that's what you get. Probably way too metal. I was thinking something, not that it was like a Primus riff, but I've always appreciated in Primus how the bass line is very driving and very dominant, and then the guitar sort of just adds texture on top of that. Of course, that guitar player is Larry Lalonde, and I said to Misha, hey, do you know who Larry Lalonde is? And he said, no. So it came out total butt metal, which is fine. Actually, I love the way it came out. It's aggressive. And that's something I really wanted to do different with this channel, is not just buy the prepackaged music you hear in most videos on YouTube, because it's just, it's like, oh, that's like the generic, Journey song, or that's the generic yacht rock song. Journey might be yacht rock for all I know. I have no idea. I don't like either, obviously. But I like, hard, aggressive music, and, also stuff like Tom Waits. So obviously can't get any Tom Waits, but my buddy Nick Salerno, one of my oldest friends at this point in life, he's a composer and also likes to rock, and so he's been supplying us with the music that you hear in the videos. I think it's nickythefish.com. Go there and check him out. Check his stuff out. Really good singer-songwriter type of guy. But yeah, so he's been having a lot of fun making the music, and we've been having fun inserting those tracks into the videos. So a little bit more aggressive, I think, than a lot of stuff, but also original, which is, I think, sort of cool. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the story of the theme song. Oh, and then Misha and I sang on it, and when I sang, we said "Driving with Jonny," but real loud. And then we did one track with me and him, and then his girlfriend Sarah came up, and she actually has a lovely voice, and of course I totally drowned her out. But if you listen real hard, you'll hear this nice little Irish "Driving with Jonny" on the theme song. So it was, I guess, 5 vocal tracks or whatever. One track with 2, one track was 3, 5 voices. So we did that, and that was a lot of fun. And then, I should also talk to you a little bit, maybe on this, like, still working out how to do talking with Jonny, but like talk about a video that just went up. And the last video that went up, review, was the Ferrari F80. And dang, bro. And it's one of those things, there's just so many cars coming out, and I've been doing this so long that I don't necessarily go into the details, pay attention to all the minutia. I sort of see the car exists. I clock the fact that it's been released. I'll read a comment or two because, social media, you read the comments. I'm horrible at that. And I'll kind of see what the general opinion is. Usually the first knee-jerk opinion is totally wrong. So it's something for me to fight against. But I'll just see what people are thinking about the car, and then I really won't think about it that much until I go to drive the thing. And I was in Italy a couple weeks ago, and I got to drive it, and let me tell you. So the internet said it was lame because it didn't have a V12, and they said it was ugly because it was ugly. So I'll address the ugly part first. It's totally not ugly. But I'll give you my experience of the car. So we went and saw the Amalfi, actually, at Modena. And then after that, we went out to the coast, the Adriatic coast, to drive the car the next day at the Mazzano circuit, the F80. And but we walked in for dinner and we didn't know, but there they had the body in black. They had the F80 with the skin off. And I gotta tell you, I was with two dudes, American dudes. I'll name them, who cares? Dan Pun from Road and Track and Ezra Dyer from Car and Driver. Collectively between us, I mean, we're talking like 70, 80 years of going on launches, driving cars, and we were like 12 years old again. It like the what this car is made of blew us away. It's this beautiful carbon tub, not beautiful, but it's technically appealing, rad looking carbon tub. The engine, it's a V6 twin turbo, but the engine, it's mounted like below my knee. In other words, like the top of the cylinder blocks, the heads, 120 degree V6, so normal V6, 120 degree V6 Porsche engine. So right here, the top of that was below my knee. It's hard to explain how low down that was. We first saw Ferrari do that actually with the SF90. That was pretty low with that V8. And the 296, I imagine, was also pretty low, but the SF90 actually has a piece of glass you can look through. And I bet the 296 is real similar, and I bet the 499P race car is real similar, but this was just impossibly low. And I think they said it's even lower because the dry sump was different. And, a street car, or a $400,000 street car versus a $4 million street car, you get to, do more exotic things. Electric turbos, it makes 55.5, round up to 56 pounds of boost, which is insane. It's 3 liters. It makes 888 horsepower. And everyone's crying for a V12. And like, with the exception of the Valkyrie V12, which makes like 1,000 horsepower, but it's also 6.5 liters. Like this, the F80's 6-cylinder makes more power than every V12. It makes more power than every V12. Why does it suck again? Because it doesn't have 12 cylinders. People would say, oh, it doesn't make a lot of noise. And Ferrari was very quick to address that. And, you could say boo-hoo, but they said, look, globally, sound laws are getting worse. World's becoming a worse place to drive. So we said, hey, let's just keep it quiet so it won't get called illegal in any country. And but we'll make it sound really good on the inside, and so you can actually hear the engine, and it sounds great. Something boosted 56 pounds of boost sounds insane, and it revs so quick, it's ridiculous. And so, do you care if other people can't hear your car from the outside as long as you can hear it while you're driving? Philosophical question, but like, I don't care what anyone else outside the car is thinking or feeling. Like, unless it's like part of your identity to have a loud car so that others like hear you coming, you can scare people or something like that. But if you like the way a car sounds while you're driving it, boy, F80 does that. You can go and watch the video. You hear a lot of engine sounds. So that doesn't bother me. And then the ugly, like, again, once you understand, and I said this, I think, in the video, but once you understand how the aero on that car works, it's sort of the most beautiful car ever made. Again, from a technical point of view, I think it actually looks rather cool. It looks incredibly wide. They say it's the same width as a LaFerrari, but because the fuselage is so narrow, you have these huge panels that like stick out. Although the doors open like 90 degrees and they're massive, so it's very easy to get in and out of. Weirdly easy car to drive. It's kind of a normal car until you get on it. But when you get on it, and I've been thinking about it. Was I hyperbolic? Like, I think it's the best car I've ever driven on the road. I think you could make the argument that there are, I don't want to say better, but I don't know, more direct or something track cars. But as far as road cars go, I've just never experienced anything terrorize a road like that. And before, I drove it. If you would say, what's the best car, best, like, just in terms of just pure handling and fun, current GT3 RS is just, it's a wow car. Goes around corners faster than it goes straight. The 296, the Ferrari 296 is just, it's like a Porsche GT2 RS, but with like another, 100 horsepower or something like that, or more. It's just a wild, fun to drive, crazy to drive, easy to drive, great to drive machine. And then there's the Gunther Works Turbo, which the last one I drove was 840 horsepower, rear drive only with a manual. Just a killer thing to drive. And again, was just ferocious and kind of like had more ferocity than the 296 and the GT3 RS, but was about as easy to drive, believe it or not. Gunther Works has just done an incredible job with that thing. But the F80, it just trumps them all. It is way quicker. I mean, again, it's like this total system output's like 1,184 horsepower. It has twice the braking ability, if not 3 or 4 times the braking ability, and it never fades. Nothing ever gets hot. And then the handling is just magical. I mean, and I hate saying it, you have to experience it, because of the 799 rich people that are buying them for $4 million a pop or whatever it's going to cost after, taxes, options, tariffs, all that good stuff. Are they going to let you drive one? Am I ever going to be able to drive one again? Like, probably not. So it's one of those, like, you have to take my word for it. How trustworthy am I? And I've already gotten the, like, well, how much is Ferrari paying you? You're just scared to say something bad, because then Ferrari won't be nice to you and won't give you the opportunity. It's like, I've heard it all before. I've said plenty of mean things about Ferrari over the years. Like, ask anybody my opinion of the F12. Right now, and I always tell this to Ferrari when they're being weird about giving journalists cars, it's like, they have nothing to hide. The Roma, haven't driven them off yet, but the Roma is awesome. The 296 is like double, triple, super awesome. I'm sure the 12 cylindry based on the GTS is at least very good. The super fast was, I mean, such a great car, especially the GTS version. And then I haven't driven the Puro Sangue. I hear it's nice. Not the best looking car in the world, but I hear it's nice. And then the F80 is like, I don't know, it's the best car I ever drove. And I've driven a Valkyrie, and I've driven the Koenigsegg, and I've driven lots of Pagani's and every Lamborghini, and blah, and on and on and on. And the thing just blew me away. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, that's my F80 spiel. If you know a really rich person, or you are one, buy one. Okay. What do I got coming up? Wrap this video up in a second. I am off to Italy in 4 days, 5 days, 4 days to drive the Lamborghini Temerario. So this is the Huracan replacement. Gone is the V10. However, there's a V8, and the V8 revs to 10,000 RPM, and it has turbochargers. And I believe, we'll find out for sure, but I believe the turbos don't really kick on until it's over 7,000 RPM. So that's one way to get rid of lag. They also might be electric. I'm not really sure. And I think it's also a hybrid. So we'll see all that. It should be an interesting car. And then I go from Portugal, where the launch is, to France. What's in France, you ask? Bugatti. Not the Tourbillon, because that's not going to be ready for a while. The Mistral. Remember the Mistral? That was the thing they showed last year at the Quail. And it's a Chiron, basically, with the top removed, but it's so different. They gave it its own model designation, and I think it was like the last 40 chassis, or you can Google the actual number. But literally beautiful car. It really was my favorite car at the Quail last year. And I think they're only letting 4 journalists total drive it. They picked me. That's very nice of them. I'm super excited about it. I'm not going to have a ton of time with the car, unfortunately, but we will come back with a video. So that'll be cool. And then I think after that, that'll be my 3rd time in Europe this month of July. And so I'll just sleep for the rest of the month. We'll film some other stuff too. Anyhow, if you made it this far, thanks. Comment. Do you like this? Do you want more of this? Less of this? Got questions? Got answers? Drop them all below. Check out the F80 video if you haven't checked it out already. It should be like here or here. I don't know how they do that on YouTube. I've seen a bunch of it, but somewhere around here. Share this and subscribe and like and do all that. And we'll catch you next time on the next episode of Talking with Jonny.